Is back or pelvic pain getting in your way? Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa, and today we are doing a yoga flow with myofascial release to open up our hips, our mid back, and ease that pain and tension. Go grab your mats and let's do this. All right, if you happen to have some tennis balls or lacrosse-sized ball, go ahead and grab those and let's get started. We're just jumping right into it for our back. So you can either roll up your yoga mat and place it across your low back, or if you have the two balls, we're gonna do the same thing. So it's like just below belt line and coming onto your back. Oof. So they're gonna be on either side of your spine, just kind of along the tops of your glutes, and get nice and heavy. Maybe you move up a little, down a little, side to side, and just take a nice gentle breath in, sink and get heavy over those balls. So we're going to keep tying everything back to our backs, our hips, our pelvis today. Everything's connected. So now you can start to create a little movement. We're going to go side to side. So just gently send your hips to the left and to the right. Now, if you're using the yoga mat, you can bring those knees in toward your chest and just kind of rock them from side to side. Oof, oh my, much more intense with the balls. You can do it with the balls, you definitely can. It's just a little more intense. And really keep coming back to your breath, opening up this rib cage. Doesn't have to be big breaths, just nice and gentle from side to side. Nice breath in. Oh my goodness. And see if you notice if one side's a little tighter than the other. I'm always working on my left side. Nice, gentle breath. Check in with your feet. Do you notice if you're gripping your feet? Are you clenching your jaw? Are you holding your breath? Keep checking in with everything. You might have to keep adjusting the balls or adjusting that mat. We're going to take one more breath here. So with all of our rolling today, 30 to 60 seconds is plenty. It's not that more is better in this case because we can overhydrate those tissues and make things a little stiffer. Nice. Let's take those balls out. Just lay flat on your mat. Maybe you take the arms, reach them all the way up overhead. Nice gentle breath in. And then exhale, bring them back down by your side. Now you can, if you don't have a ball, you can still keep the yoga mat rolled up. We're going to take one of our balls and we're going to work the outside of our hip. So what you can do, we're going to our glute muscles. So you can find the top of your pelvis and then just roll the ball 2 or 3 inches just below the top of your pelvis. And we're going to come onto our right side at first. If you've got the mat, you're going to do the same thing, just laying on the mat. And if the balls seem like they're too intense, laying on them, you could put like a pillow or a towel on top of them too. Ooh, you'll know when you find that spot, it's not like hurt, but it feels good. Take a gentle breath in. Ooh. Exhale, let it go. And the top hip, so the left hip, we're kind of rolling it back and the ball might peek out a little bit. And then we'll roll that hip back on top. And just gently rolling side to side. If the ground is too intense with the ball, the other option is you can always go to the wall and place it up against the wall. Nice breath in. Gently rocking side to side. And our tendency is to like grip and hold things really tight. So see if you can like soften over that. Use your breath. If you're like, oh, I got this, this feels great. You can also like lift up that lower leg. Ooh, it'll get in there a little more. I'm chilling with the leg down today. Ooh, let's take 2 more breaths here. Nice gentle breath in. Exhale, get super heavy. Nice. One more breath here. Slowly let that out. Whew. And then let's head over, same spot, just on the left-hand side. So you find the top of your pelvis, move that 2 or 3 inches behind. So whenever you're rolling, it's thinking of rolling with a purpose, not just like digging in and rubbing up and down. It's like finding where that specific muscle is located, easing into it. Use your breath. and 30 to 60 seconds. Yeah. How is it possible? This side is more tender. Nice breath in. Let it go. Maybe you find a couple of spots. The same thing, this right hip, we can drop the right hip back. You can roll the hip up so that left hip's coming underneath. If you're like, oh, piece of cake, you can lift and lower that bottom leg. Nice, gentle breaths in. Exhale, let it go. 2 more on this side. Nice. And then you can take that ball out. And then if you've got the yoga mat, you can unroll the yoga mat. And we're just going to come onto our hands and knees in tabletop. If it's uncomfortable in your hands, you could always come down to your forearms as well, or use your yoga blocks for your forearms too. So keep pressing into those palms, lengthen through the crown of your head. We're going to round everything out. Pull your chin in towards your chest, tuck that tailbone underneath. Nice breath in. And then sink your chest, lift your head. Good. Exhale, same thing. Pull everything in, round it out. And then sink your chest, lift that head. We'll take that left leg, extend your left leg back. Left arm comes up overhead. Reach through those fingertips, lengthen out. You're going to take your left arm, reach your left arm underneath your right. And then peel and lift, come back up and open your chest up just a little bit more. Keep reaching through that back leg. Take the left arm, reach, come underneath, maybe reach a little further, turn to look at that right hand, left hand, just kidding. Peel your chest, come back up. Awesome, one more time. Sweep that left arm underneath, reach through those fingertips, and then bring it back up. We'll take your left leg, sweep that left leg in front. Press into the left foot, pull yourself, come all the way up. We're going to take our right hip, really tuck the right hip underneath, press those feet down into the ground, and bring your hands behind the back of your head. We're going to bend to the left. And as you bend to the left, press the top of your right shin into the ground. You'll feel a little more pull. And then pull yourself back up, bend to the right. Pull yourself, come up, bend to the left. And then over towards the right. Keep pressing into those feet. Use your breath for 3, 2. Nice job. Last one. Bring it back up. Take that right hand down towards the ground. Swing it back into your side plank again. Lengthen fingertips to toes. Maybe that left leg lifts and lengthens behind. And then we'll spin everything back down towards the ground. Take your right leg, send your right leg straight back behind. Peel open, come into that side plank. So lengthen through those fingertips. Reach out. And then we're going to take that right hand, sweep your right hand underneath the left, and then turn to peek at those fingers. Peel your chest open. Peel it open a little bit more towards the ceiling. And then same thing, sweep, come underneath. Nice, peel your chest, lift it open. Last time, reach underneath. Maybe you go a teeny bit further. And then lift, come all the way back up. We'll take that right knee, pull your right knee in towards your chest and step it forward. If you need to kind of help move it forward, come all the way up. We're gonna take that left hip, tuck your left hip underneath. Press both those feet down into the ground. Gentle stretch in the front of that left hip. Hands come behind the back of your head, and we're gonna bend over towards the right hand side. Inhale, come back up, bend to the left. And check in with your back too. We want to make sure we don't have this big back bend. Keep that rib cage over your pelvis. Bend to the right, come back up, and then the left. Just gently side to side, check in the front of the thigh. Maybe you start to feel it pull up along that left side. 3, 2. Last 1. Bring it back up. Take that left hand back down. Right leg sweeps back behind. Maybe the leg is lifted or it stays down on the ground. Take a really nice big breath in here. And then exhale, let it go. Good. Bring that leg back in. We're going back to the balls. We're going to head to our mid-back. So if you don't have the balls, you can roll that yoga mat up and we're going to place it right across the shoulder blades. If you have the 2 balls, we're going to take those and just place them either side of your spine, right in between those shoulder blades. You could also use like a rolled up towel. If you want to use your yoga block, you can do that as well. This is like one of my favorites. I do. Especially if I've done either a lot of driving or I've been behind my desk a lot. All right, you might have to wiggle up or down just to get them in the right spot. When you get them in between your shoulder blades, we're checking in to make sure our ribs are not flaring up, that we just gently, rib cage comes down. Think of the tailbone just lengthening underneath. So we're focusing, feeling it right in between those shoulder blades, and just take a couple gentle breaths in. Check in with your head. Are you like on the very tip of your head? Can the base of your head come down? Gentle tuck of that chin. And as you're breathing in, think of the breath going towards those balls or your mat. And then as you exhale, let the balls sink in a little bit more. Our mid-back tends to be pretty rounded and stiff because of all the sitting and computer work and lifting and things we do. So opening this up can be so helpful if we've got back tension, back pain. It's really helpful for our core and our pelvic floor. We're going to take another gentle breath in and take that right arm, float your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Maybe it goes back behind. Bring it back up towards the ceiling and bring the right arm across your body. Inhale, lift back up. We're going to reach the right arm up overhead again. And then bring it back towards the ceiling and across our body. One more time. Inhale, lift the right arm all the way up overhead. And then bring it across our body. Bring that back and we'll switch. Left arm reaches all the way up overhead. Bring that back towards the ceiling and over towards the right hand side. Inhale, lift that arm back up overhead and bring it back down and across our body. Nice. Inhale, lift up. Last time, reach up overhead, get nice and heavy with that left arm. Back towards the ceiling and across our body. Good. Both hands come back down by your side. Take one more breath in here. Send the breath to those balls, and then on the exhale, sink. Just get a little heavier. And then we'll gently roll off the balls or off our mat, and then just come flat on your back. And I want you to check in. Notice what pressure points you feel along your back. Maybe you lengthen out through those legs. Take a breath. Where do you feel any tension or pulling still? And just check in with that. And then let's slowly slide those legs back in. And then we'll come onto our side. And then we're going to grab the balls or the mat again to roll the mat. We're going to do our hips, so you can do one at a time or both, to find the bone at the front of your pelvis. And then we're just going to take the ball and place it just to the inside. So you can be down a little, up a little bit. You can also do both of them at the same time. Kind of find what works best for you. And if you've got the yoga mat, you're just laying that yoga mat along that same spot. I'm going to stay up so you can hear me. You could rest your head down on your forearms, rest it down on a block. But the same idea as when we had it in our mid-back. As you take a breath in, think of sending your breath to the balls. And then as you exhale, let those balls sink in a little more. Inhale, push into the balls. Maybe you shift your weight more towards the left or towards the right, or if you just have it on one side. Nice, gentle breath in. Exhale, get nice and heavy. And just try to ease and soften if you have any tightness. And keep using that breath. And see if you started to notice a pattern. Is it more tender along one whole side? Is it maybe left hip, right shoulder, left hip? See if you can continue to notice all those little things. Maybe you kind of wiggle hips left and right. If you're doing one side, switch to the other. If you're like, this is piece of cake, I got this, you could always try to lift one leg up. Just make sure it doesn't dump into your low back. Lifting the leg puts a little more pressure on that hip flexor muscles. An active release for it. It's nice and gentle with that breath. Good, and then maybe you try lifting on the other side. This is not fun if you just ate. Take one more breath wherever you're at. Get nice and heavy. Let it all go on that exhale. And then bring those hands down by your side. Just press your hips up and back and come back into a child's pose, and we'll move those off to the side for now. Maybe sink the hips left and right. Let that head be heavy. Nice. Inhale, pull yourself, come all the way back up. And we're just going to come to a seated position. So we have a couple options with the next one. We're going to do double pigeon. So option one, we're going to start with the right leg. Bring that right leg in front. You can take your left ankle and place your left ankle in front of your right knee. You can also take that left ankle and place it on top of your right. Trying to get both sit bones nice and even towards the ground, lifting up through the crown of your head and hinging fold forward. One other option, if you're like, ooh, neither of those are helping, Melissa, you can take your right leg, extend your right leg out, and the left leg can come on top. Inhale, lifting up, and gentle twist towards the side. So find which one works best for you. Woo. Keep thinking, sit bones down, lift out of your waist, and use your breath. So we've really done a lot of work loosening up our hips, loosening up our low back, moving up to our mid back. Continuing to kind of open up the hips, use your breath, see if that feels any different. See if you can feel that connection with your breath as you inhale, breath going to the sides, front and back, lengthening down towards pelvic floor. And then as we exhale, it comes back up. Suppose I am always working on. I'm like, it's gonna get easier one of these days. If you've got this and you can like fold forward, definitely go for it. And see, where do you feel this? In the outside of your hip? Is it on the other side, front, back? Do you feel it everywhere? Nice, we'll just take 2 more gentle breaths here. Nice job, 1 more. And then bring both those legs out in front. Just kind of give them a little bit of a shake. And then we'll go to the other side. So if it felt more comfortable bringing that leg across, the right leg can come, lift up and twist. If you want a double pigeon, that left shin comes down, right ankle in front, or the right ankle to your left knee. Ooh, sit those sit bones down, lift up nice and tall. If you've got this, go ahead, fold forward. But really use your breath to find where you might be gripping, where you might be holding, and just try to soften a little bit. Notice if your tailbone rounds underneath. Can you keep that tailbone lifted? Good. How does this side feel compared to your other side? What do you notice? Nice, gentle breath in. Exhale, let it go. Good, same thing, 2 more breaths here. Nice work. Whew. Come on out of that. Just give those legs a little bit of a shake. And then we're gonna come up to standing, however you wanna get there, and grab one of your balls. So you could use that same ball we've been using. If you've got like a golf ball, you could use that. We're gonna place that down on the ground and start on our right side. And for this, we're just gonna do in between our toes. So starting in between your big toe and your second toe, you're gonna slowly roll down towards your heel and then bring it back up super slowly, roll down towards your heel and then back up. You can definitely hold on. I'm not testing your balance here, but because of how our fascia connects in our body, this is a great way to help loosen up fascia around our pelvis, helps with our diaphragm, pelvic floor, all the way up back of our head. Good, let's move in between the second and third toes. And you're looking to see, is it more tender in the inside of my foot, outside of my foot? What am I noticing? Woo! I'm just gently rolling the toes to your heel. Head to the outside edge of that foot. Ooh, my outside's a little more tender. Eee. Nice work. One more. And then just place both feet down on the ground and notice left, right. Notice the contact with the ground. Do you have more weight in your heels, the toes, outside, inside? Is there more warmth and awareness of the right versus the left? And then we'll head over towards the other side. So the same thing, starting in between our big toe and our second toe. And then just super slowly working your way down. See if all the toes want to help out and they're going in all crazy directions. Can you soften the toes? How does this foot feel compared to the other side? Let's work in between the second and third toes. Wow. Always feels so much better after. After the rolling, so much better. Awesome. Let's roll in between that second and third. And just keep gently working your way to the outside edge of your foot. Nice work. 2 more times on this side. Nice. And then both feet come down flat. Bring it back to the front of your mat. Just spread those toes, check in. How does everything feel? We'll bring those hands in towards heart center. And just take your right leg, step your right leg back. Press down into those feet, sweep those arms, lift all the way up. Open up through your mid back, come into this cactus arm position. We'll spin our back heel down, turn both feet to face the side, tap those arms up overhead. Take your right foot, turn it to face the back of your mat and come into a warrior 2. Press the feet down towards the ground, tailbones lengthening, rib cages stacked. Nice breath in. From here, take your right hand to your hip or your right forearm to your thigh as your left arm comes overhead into extended side angle. We're pressing the feet down to the ground, and think of the hand, we're not sinking into the arm, but you're almost pushing in, so you're like doing the side plank, lifting out of that right shoulder. Inhale, pull yourself, come back up. Turn both feet to face the side. Hands come in towards heart center. Bend your right knee. Your right foot can turn out to the side, and maybe you bring your arms, wrap them behind. And then we'll come back through towards center. Bend the left knee, sweep those arms, wrap behind. One more time each side. Bend your right knee, rotate from that chest. Nice breath in. And then we'll head over towards that left hand side. Same thing. Keep spinning those feet back to face the front. Take your right foot, step your right foot forward. Inhale, bring those hands in towards heart center. Take your left foot, step your left foot back. Press those feet down into the ground. Sweep those arms, lift up overhead. Open, come into cactus. Really broaden through the front of your chest. Back heel's gonna spin down. Inhale, lift up. Tap both fingers up overhead. Left foot turns to face the back of your mat. Warrior two. Reach and lengthen through those fingertips. Keep pressing the feet down towards the ground. See what happens if you lean forward. Drop the ribs, tuck the hips, lift the hips, and see where the breath feels the easiest. Left hand comes to your hip, left forearm to your thigh, right arm reaches overhead. Nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. Just check in with all the openness created throughout practice. Inhale, pull yourself, come back up, turn both feet to face the side. Bend that left knee, wrap those arms behind. Bend your right knee. Nice inner thigh stretch. Also strengthening those legs. It's this push and pull motion with your hips. Back over towards that right hand side. Keep spinning everything back to face the front. Step it forward. Pressing down into those feet. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands down towards heart center. I'm just pausing for a moment. Check in with your breath. Check in with openness we created in our hips, maybe more awareness in your feet, in your mid-back. We're gonna take a really big breath in, and then exhale, open mouth exhale, let it all go. Awesome, one more time, just like that, nice big breath in. Exhale, let it all go. We'll take one more nice big cleansing breath in. Lift those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down towards heart center. Thanking your body for your practice. Keep up the good work. Until next time, namaste.